12th chapter, electromagnetic induction. In this lecture we will discuss about the flux of the field and about the motional electromotive force. Flux of the field. The number of lines of force passing normally through a given area is called as magnetic flux. Consider a small element of area dA bar. This is the small element of area dA bar. It is a vector quantity. Its direction is determined by the right hand screw rule. If this area is traversed in anti-clockwise sense, that is in counter-clockwise sense, then direction of this area vector dA bar, it is outward, that is towards the reader. Now it is situated in the magnetic field B bar. The flux through this area dA bar, it is equal to B bar dot dA bar. It is the scalar product of these two vectors. It is equal to magnitude of B bar multiplied by magnitude of area vector dA bar into cos theta, where theta is the angle between the directions of magnetic field B bar and the direction assigned to the area vector dA bar. Now consider the finite area S. Thus the flux passing through this area S, it is equal to the sum of the magnetic flux assigned to the small areas enclosed in this finite area S. Therefore phi, it is equal to surface integral B bar dot dA bar. As the magnetic field at the every point changes with time, then the flux phi will also change with time. Therefore flux phi, it is the function of time. Phi t, it is equal to surface integral S B bar, it is the function of time, into dA bar. Now according to Faraday's law, E, it is equal to d phi divided by dt. It is equal to minus d dt of this surface integral B bar, which is the function of time, into dA bar. From this equation 4, it is clear that even B does not change with time, the flux may vary if area S changes with time. The rate of change of flux d phi by dt, it is related to the work done to take unit positive charge around the contour C in reverse direction. This unit positive charge, it is moved in clockwise sense. Then this work done to take unit positive charge around the contour C in reverse direction, this work done is just EMF. According to Faraday's law, therefore E, it is equal to minus d dt of this surface integral B bar, which is the function of time, dot dA bar. In SI unit, the EMF E will be in volt. The flux phi, it is in Weber, and time t is in second. From equation B bar does not change with time, then flux may still vary if the area S changes with time. Now motional EMF. First we consider the translational motion of this conductor. As a result of change in magnetic flux, an EMF is induced. It is produced due to the movement of the conductor in the magnetic field. Hence it is called as motional EMF. Consider a rectangular frame of wires A, B, C, D of area LX. It is situated in constant magnetic field B bar. This is the area. Here it is X, here it is EL. Area it is L into X. This is the loop A, B, C, D. The magnetic field, it is inward. It is passing through the screen. The flux, as the area changes, the flux will also change. Now if this conductor is moved with a velocity v bar to increase the x, if this conductor is moved here, then x will increase. the area of the loop ABCD will also increase. Thus, flux B bar through the loop also increases with time. According to flux rule, the induced EMF will be equal to the rate at which the magnetic flux through the conducting circuit is changing. The induced EMF will cause the current in the loop. It is assumed that there is enough resistance in wire so that the induced current very small, producing negligible magnetic field. We know that phi it is equal to B dot A, that is B into Lx. Here Lx it is the area of ABCD, therefore phi it is equal to BL into X. Now induced EMF in the coil E it is equal to d phi by dt, that is d dt of BL into X. BL is constant. Here L it is the length of this conductor BC, it is constant. B it is the magnetic field which is constant, therefore induced EMF E it is equal to BL dx divided by dt. X it is the displacement, dx by dt it is the velocity, therefore E it is equal to BLV. We get the equation for the induced EMF. E it is equal to BLV. B it is the magnetic field, L it is the length of the conductor, and V it is the velocity of the conductor. The above result can be understood from the magnetic forces on the charges moving in the wire BC. Now a charge Q which is carried by the moving wire BC experiences a Lorentz force F bar it is equal to Q into V bar cross BB bar. This F bar Lorentz force it is equal to Q, which is the charge, V bar cross BB bar, B bar velocity V, which is assigned to the conductor BC, and B it is the magnetic field. Now when charge Q moves the distance L along the wire, work done by the Lorentz force it is equal to W it is equal to F into L. F it is equal to Q V B sin theta. It is the scalar product. V bar cross B bar, the magnitude of this scalar product is phi B sin theta. Now the EMF generated is E it is equal to work done divided by charge. Work done it is equal to Q V B sin theta divided into L divided by Q. Q get cancelled. E it is equal to V B sin theta into L. For maximum induced EMF sin theta it is equal to 1. Therefore E max it is equal to BL phi. Thus for any circuit whose parts move in a fixed magnetic field, the induced EMF is time derivative of flux phi regardless the shape of the circuit. The flux rule also applicable in case of wire loop that is kept in stationary and the magnetic field is changed. The Lorentz force on the electrical charges is given by F bar it is equal to Q E bar plus V bar cross B bar. Any force on charges at rest in stationary wire comes from E term. Hence, in a region where magnetic field is changing with time, electric field are generated. This electric field drives the electrons around the conductor circuit and as such is responsible for the induced EMF in a stationary circuit. Whenever there is a changing magnetic flux, the flux rule holds good so long as the change in magnetic flux is due to the changes in magnetic field or due to the motion of the circuit or both. Now the motional EMF in a rotating bar. Here we are considering the rotational motion of the conductor. Now this conductor, it is pivoted at this point. Now consider a conducting bar of length L. is rotating with constant angular speed omega about a pivot at one end. The uniform magnetic field is directed perpendicular to the plane of rotation. It is in inward direction. To find the induced EMF between the ends of the bar, consider a segment of the bar which has a length dr bar at a distance r from the pivot. This is the distance of this small element of length dr from the pivot, and which is denoted by r. Now, the induced EMF in the segment moving perpendicular to B, it is equal to dE, it is equal to B phi dr. Now, phi it is equal to r omega, therefore E it is equal to sum of these induced EMF in such small elements between length L it is equal to 0 to L it is equal to L. E dE it is equal to B phi dr, that is integration B omega r dr. B omega, it is constant, therefore it is taken outside the integration sign. B omega integration between the limits 0 to L r dr, which is equal to B omega L square divided by 2. Therefore E it is equal to 1/2 B omega into L square. If n is the frequency of rotation of bar, then omega it is equal to 2 pi n. Therefore E it is equal to 1/2 B 2 pi n into L square, and that is equal to pi B n into L square.